What's going on, MMA fans? I'm here to do a video entitled IFL Financial Woes, and I'm going to run over three things to try to put into perspective about what has happened with the IFL and where it will end up eventually. One of the first things is the IFL was smart with who they brought in. I mean, they brought in some top tier guys. You had guys like Vernon White, Jay Hiron, that they were at the top of the ladder at some point. It may not be at the top of the ladder now, but they were at the top of the ladder at some point. You had guys that they brought in as well, like Ben Rothwell, Roy Nelson, Mike Whitehead, Bart Palashevsky, Ryan Schultz, Chris Hordeski, so on and so forth. But they really did appeal, I think, to the diehard MMA fans, but I think where they kind of went wrong and where they didn't look was to the casual fan base, and the lack of promoting, the lack of sponsorships, it really drove the IFL down. And you know, the rumors that came out, and even from reliable sources that they said that it wasn't rumors of mismanagement of funds. I mean, we saw that with Pride, and that will lead to the demise of an organization, and you can't allow that to happen, and it seems that has possibly happened. Of course, I was reading today, right before I did this video, it was just about the August 15th show getting canceled, and of course the IFL just allowing their fighters to fight in other organizations, the guys going to Adrenaline MMA, and fighting in some of the other smaller shows to try to get their fighters out there and their names out there. But you know, they've had to cut people, they've had to let people go to try to cut the funds down. Their shares have gone down. They're trying to bring in other people to try to fund the organization. They've tried this brand new Hex idea for their ring, and you know, it seems that the IFL it might be at a point now that it can't recover, which is sad. But you know, neither here nor there. Whether it's true that they've mismanaged funds, you know, the lack of sponsorships, the lack of mainstream promotion, the lack of views, and not appealing to, not putting themselves out there to the mainstream media with the promoting to allow people on the outside to be drawn into the sport. And I think that's what has really killed this organization. And unfortunately, we see what we see now with it. It's having to cancel a show, which was a big show, that they were going to have set up at, I believe it was it was in New Jersey, and I can't remember where it was at, so I'm sorry, I apologize that I don't know the city, but I know it was in New Jersey. And that's a really bad thing, and it shows that there's problems, and hopefully we'll see something happen here, and maybe somebody come in and try to breathe some financial life into it. But at this point, I don't see that they'll be able to recover, which is real sad. So a positive thing that the IFL has done is they've built some names, and they've built some guys that when they do go to other organizations, people that saw those guys fight, they're going to go, I remember watching him fight, and they're going to know what that guy was all about. Guys like Chris Hordeski. I mean, that kid's the real deal. You know, guys like Ryan Schultz, Bart Palashevsky. I mean, those two guys have been around before the IFL, but now people are going to recognize those names and say, I watched him fight in the IFL, and they're going to tune in to watch that guy fight if they like that guy. So there were some positive things, and I think the negative things are we've seen another promotion that really they just didn't put themselves out there. They didn't promote, they didn't get sponsorships. It looks like they've mismanaged funds, which is really a bad light on another organization, that they just couldn't keep their things together. So, it's one less MMA organization, unfortunately. But the positive is we see fighters that are going to bloom and move into other organizations and probably breathe some life into those, and really, breathe some life into the sport. When something dies, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, you see something greater happen, and it looks like that's what's going to happen here. So unfortunately, we'll see. Unfortunately, we might see. And I apologize. I just got so many things running through my head. We might see the IFL go down and go out. But on the positive side, we will see, the fighters that were in that organization that made names for themselves, draw people into other organizations and other parts of the MMA spectrum, which is a good thing. So if this is the IFL's last breaths of air, it's sad to see it go. It was a good promotion. They did a good job. But like I stated, some of the things that have caused it to go to where it is now is why we're seeing what we're seeing. So, unfortunately, like I said, it looks like the IFL is at a point of no return. So, feel free to leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive, on this video. Vid responses, of course, if you want to talk about this. And on that note, you guys, have a great day.